Hello, my name is Carlos Ortiz. Today I'll be talking about how to reduce unwanted and electrical and acoustic noise when recording. I'll go ahead and explain the difference in the types of noises and things to consider when we are recording, whether at home or in a studio, how to go about rejecting that unwanted noise and that ambient noise from filtering into our recording. Now the two types of noise are acoustic and electric. Now the acoustic is all the noise of the space, everything basically that's in it. Alright, so you have a TV or AC, fan, anything that could be part of the room that might be making noise is the acoustic. And electric, of course, is all the noise that gets picked up in all of our gear and that the gear actually creates. So those are two of the types of noise we want to consider before we record. We want to, of course, be aware of our surroundings and all the things that could be either acoustic or electric. We want to keep in mind so that we can reduce all the unwanted noise whenever possible. What we want to focus on and remember is when we are recording in an instrument in a space is to always focus on having that clean recording, and we want to focus on our listening. We want to get really quiet and make sure we listen to the space. We want to notice all the little things around us and be aware of all the outside noises. So whether we're by a window or, like I said, what we talked about earlier with acoustic noise, if we have a fan, little things that might come into play that would affect our recording. We want to make sure we just sit there and quietly listen to everything in our particular space. Now when recording acoustic noise, we want to make sure we listen carefully to, like I had mentioned, the silence or the room tone to make sure of all our surroundings. I want to move away from any noisy sources like I explained, like a fan or a window. We want to make sure we create that isolated space for recording. So keep in mind to turn off any noisy sources like the AC, a fan, television, heating can cause that. Any appliance, a fridge might be humming or, let alone make some ice or something that could come in and affect our studio recording. So keep in mind for acoustic noise, be aware of all the little things in our surrounding, like I said, even being by a window, noise from a car, or anything that might come into our environment that would affect our recording. Now when we go about reducing electrical noise, we want to make sure that we are using fewer pieces of gear. The less amount of gear we use lessens our chances to go about creating that unwanted noise. So if you, of course, have a multiple of instruments, just keep in mind that there is more of a chance that you are going to create more noise or possible things that could affect the recording. Also use the shorter cables, because with shorter cables you're going to have that clear path and of course a cleaner recording. Keep in mind to also use balance cables, which we talked about in class, like the XLRs that are great for rejecting noise. You want to have professional cables such as those, because those are going to give us that cleaner recording. Also keep in mind to turn off all appliances and electrical dimmers like light dimmers, because those power systems can cause that hum and get into our recording. So keep that in mind, as well as using high quality gear, which metals obviously will protect and reject noise as opposed to plastic and the cheaper material, which of course can produce higher volumes or higher noise. Some other things to keep in mind when reducing electrical noise is to avoid unnecessary gain. Every time we go to turn up our gain, remember that's also going to create noise. So when we boost our levels, keep that electrically as little as possible. Try to move that mic closer to the source instead of increasing the gain. That'll be something to keep in mind, and to avoid turning that gain up, so that way we can keep that noise at a minimal level. And of course, when choosing a microphone, try to choose something with a polar pattern so it isolates the source from that noisy environment, and of course keeps unwanted noise and the ambient noise reduced to a minimum. So polar pattern, of course, is very important to remember when applying that to the mic. And lastly, it's important to remember that noise can actually be used musically. Like mentioned in our lectures, electronic artists use that noise sweep to give it that essence of sound, and we have those guitarists who kind of use that feedback as well to create that particular sound. And it is obviously used musically in a good sense. But keep in mind to always have the recording be clear from the beginning, so that way we don't have to rely on post-production tools. You'll have to do less work in the end, and it'll, like I said, solve a lot of headaches later. So hope everyone learned a little bit here with my lesson. It's been great teaching you all, and hope everyone's enjoying the class. Thank you.